When I was around 5 years old, I remember washing my hands at the bathroom sink. To my left was the open door, and across the hall was my parents' room. The door to their room was also open. From the corner of my eye, I saw movement, and when I looked into the bedroom, I saw a tall man walking from right to left. He had no color. He was completely gray. He wore a suit and he had a beard with no mustache. In hindsight, he kind of looked like Abraham Lincoln. I'm not saying that's who he was, but just a resemblance. I calmly went into the living room where my mom was and said, "Mom, there's a man in your room." Of course, she kind of freaked out and immediately checked, but no one was there. Nothing was out of place, and the window was locked from the inside. There was nowhere for him to go, if he was a real person. From what I saw, he would have walked right through the wall and into the backyard. I remember this vividly. She asked what he looked like, and I described him. Years later, when I was much older, I was having a conversation with my mom, and we started talking about this incident. She confessed that when I described this man, chills ran up her spine. She had seen him as well, a few times in the house, only for him to vanish right before her. Of course, she wouldn't have told her young child this at the time, so there was no way for me to have imagined him or been influenced by her. We truly saw the same spirit on different occasions, and we have no idea who he is or why he's there, but we've never felt threatened by him. He's just one of the few spirits that we've seen on the property. This story happened in 2011. It was summer in Pulaski, Tennessee. Me and two of my girlfriends were bored, and we had heard about this house near the Tennessee and Alabama border called the YEET House. We get directions and go on my little red Pontiac and park in the gravel road, facing the way we came in, just in case we needed to flee. Apparently, other people, mainly college students, apparently hid out in the house and drank, or partied, or whatever. Anyway, we get settled, and there appears to be no one around. I turned off my headlights, and we kinda just sat there, admiring the way the moon was lighting the field in front of the house, and making small talk. One of my friends notices a little black cat coming down the slight incline of the road. She says something, and we're all just like, "Aw." But the cat didn't stop in front of the car. It was trotting fast towards us, like it was going to hop onto it. I had my window halfway open, and I wanted to scare the cat so that it wouldn't jump on my car and try to get in. I had no idea if it had rabies or anything. So, I turn on my headlights and roll up my window, and we're just staring at the cat because it was maybe 5 feet from my car. As soon as my lights came on, the cat vanished like smoke blown in the wind. No running away, just gone. We all saw it. That's when we were like, "What the fuck? Nope, we're good," and got the hell out of there. I haven't had any real experiences since, but that was the incident that turned me into more of a believer. I'm still skeptical, but God, that scared the hell out of me. My ex-boyfriend was in a local metal band. He would often dabble in the occult and would say dumb things right before going to bed, often along the lines of, "Lucifer, take my soul and make me famous." Some bullshit like that. He would think it was a joke and often laugh it off. Anyway, one night, I decided I was going to stay over at his place. Before bed, he started his usual mantra of telling Satan to take his soul in exchange for being famous. I always thought it was strange, but admittedly, I never really took it that serious myself. We went to bed around 12 a.m. I don't remember much about that particular night. In fact, I slept pretty well. He, on the other hand, woke up and began telling me about a strange dream he had during the night. He swore, in the dream, that he kept hearing what he described as demon growls in his ear. Other than thinking it was strange and kind of creepy, I reasoned it to him and his weird nightly ritual. It wasn't until we began getting ready for the day when he took off his shirt to change, and I noticed huge red scratch marks on his back that did not resemble anything that could be made by a human. They looked like what resembled 3 claw marks, starting from his left shoulder and ending across his lower back. We both sort of freaked out when we saw it, and he was so freaked out that he never again joked around with that mantra at night. To this day, I think about it and it still gives me the creeps. So, people, please don't joke around with the occult unless you truly want a response, because, in my experience, that stuff is real. A few years ago, I experienced sleep paralysis for the first, and hopefully only time. My closet door was across from my bed and open. A small girl was squatting inside there looking at me. She had gray skin and long dark hair. She looked like the girl from the Ring movie. She started crawling over to me and onto my bed. She just sat on the side of my bed staring at me. I tried screaming and squirming, but nothing worked. I was aware I was having sleep paralysis at the time, and somehow I managed to get myself out of it. I'm not exactly sure how she disappeared, but she was gone. Fast forward a year or two later, I was on an acid trip and invited a girl I was seeing at the time to come over because I was always curious what sex would be like while tripping. As we were making out, I see her hair coiling and spiraling endlessly, as if it was getting longer. Her hair also started turning night black. I couldn't stop staring at it. Then I look up at her, and she looked exactly like the girl from my sleep paralysis. Literally same build, body type, size, hair, etc. Needless to say, we did not have sex, and that was the last time that I saw her.